Welcome back to Tom's Garage again, boys and girls. Good afternoon. Today, it's a PowerHorse from Northern Tools, 4,000 watt generator. Yay! Generator. They said this thing's been sitting for a while, man. He's missing his air filter and cover. Look at that. You can see that carburetor's been leaking. Looks like it's got a little rustiness coming out of it. Ooh. I looked at the tank too. It's got a lot of nastiness in there. Not bad though. It's just, I think it's just more or less just a little bit of surface. Whatever was left in that gas just kind of settled to the bottom. We'll give it a good swishing. Just a little bit, right around here, in that little valley right there. I believe she'll come out all right. Put some gas in it, give it a good swishing, draining, flush it. We'll see how that helps it. But first, let's get this carburetor off. Well, first thing I'm gonna do is get the fuel tank off, then we'll get the carburetor off, get it taken apart and get it in the vat, see what kind of shape it's in. Yep, let's do it. Let's do this, Brutus. We ain't new to this. Woo. All right, let's see. We're gonna have to unhook the vent hose. 4 of these little 8mm or 5/16 screws, 4 of them, and then we'll take this fuel line off. Oh boy, that fuel line is hard as a rock. Wow. Yeah, we'll have to get a new fuel line too. So let's pop this fuel tank off. That way it'll give us more room to work around the carburetor. Break this traction, get in there and pry it off. All right. This tank is completely dry right now. Let's see what kind of luck we'll have getting this fuel line off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There we go. Okay, let's grab the 8mm socket. 8mm socket. There's one there. One there. One there. They weld the nut to the bottom of this framework. That helps in mass production, makes things go quicker. I think that'd be pretty cool working on an assembly line, putting one of these together. I hate to do the same thing over and over and over all day though. I wouldn't mind start to finish putting one together, but not just standing in a line, just okay, bolt the gas tank, bolt the gas tank. That would get boring. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's see here, I'm gonna turn this fuel valve off. Let's take this over here to the door and just blow air in it and see how much rust and stuff comes out. See how bad it really might be. Let's see. Yeah, that's a pretty good bit of dust coming out. Okay. Set this here, we'll get the carburetor off. I think what I'll do is just pour some gas in it, give it a good swish and let it sit for a little bit, and dump it all out. I'm gonna take that petcock fuel valve off of it. We'll drain it from there. We'll just lowered the table and put a bucket on the floor and let it all drain into it. All right. All right. Now we can get to the carburetor. Well, somebody's got that all bent. Look at that spring right there. It's supposed to be wrapped around one more time. All right. Let's grab us a 10mm socket. 10mm socket. Get this air filter base taken off. We've got one little screw at the bottom of the air filter base. And I can see that motor mount bolt is loose. Look at that. I just noticed that too. Wiggle, wiggle. Okay. Okay. Have my extension here. I'm curious what kind of shape this carburetor's in. It's probably going to look just like the bottom of that fuel tank. That's all right, we'll clean it. We'll clean it real good. I should have done this first. Take these little vent hose lines loose. Okay. Crankcase ventilation from the valve cover, and this vent tube is from the gas tank. Everything gets recirculated. Oops. All right. Alrighty, well, no wonder. Just noticed that this whole rod right here is bent. That's why you got so much slack on that spring. We'll have to bend that back straight. Wonder what happened there. Probably just got hit by something. Okay. It's probably got bent by somebody trying to take it off. That's probably what it is. Don't lose your little choke lever. Inside it don't look too awful bad. Yeah. I got some high hopes for that thing. I'll have to get a new fuel line. That was barely stuck on. Somebody's been working on this thing, I'm afraid. All right, let's raise this camera up. Let's go over here to the bench. We'll grab our favorite carburetor cleaning pan. Yay! Ooh, oh yeah, oh yeah, not bad. All right, all right. Not bad, not bad. Pop the main jet and emulsion tube out. I wonder how much luck we can have getting that O-ring off that bowl gasket O-ring. I hate to soak it in the vat. Causes them things to swell. There goes the jet, emulsion tube. So funny, I just did a generator yesterday. I can go months without somebody bringing me a generator, and then all of a sudden I get a run on them. It could be January, or it just turned to August. I guess people are worried about them storms. Got about 2 threads sticking out the other side. Pop this jet out gently. Water, he must have left this thing laying outside or something. Must have got rained on. O-rings look good. Looks pretty clean. It does, it looks pretty clean. Okay, let's see how much luck we have getting this O-ring out without damaging it. Try not to get gas or nothing on that because it makes it swell and you'll never get it fit back in that little groove it sits in. Do that by itself over there. All this good stuff right here. We're not going to soak that, we're going to clean that. Okay, we're going to soak this bowl. Push a little bit of jelly in there. We'll soak this carburetor for about 30 minutes. Let me hit the end of this with the wire wheel. Nice and pretty again. Let me grab another can of Carburetor cleaner. Okay, let's give everything a good rinsing. Clear out that circuit. See it coming out pretty good. All right. Give it a little rinse. Well, my hands are wet now. I can't hang on to the can. Okay, grab our little needle here. Let's see which one we want. Let's grab the smallest one we have. Let's see, where did it go? There's one I like so much. I probably left it on the table and got blown away by the air hose again. Gotta go through every hole. Give everything a good cleaning and rinsing before we put it in there. It's like taking a shower before you go swimming. That hole keeps moving. Make sure that's open. Make sure that's open. This one may be too big for this, but to where I can't see good. All right, that's all the way in. It's good and clear. Give that a good spraying before we put it back together. All right. Everybody in the pool. All right, it is 1:15. See, that's what I do. I lay these things down and I don't see them. I end up blowing them away. Okay. Just sit there like that. Set that over there. Now, let's pour some fuel in this gas tank here. I did turn that fuel valve off, didn't I? Just dump it all over it. At least it ain't gonna rust on the outside. All right, let's give it a swish. I've seen people use white distilled vinegar. I've seen them use Coca-Cola or Pepsi or something. And you could throw a handful of nuts and bolts in there and just, you know, if it was real bad, you could do that. We'll just see how clean we can get it. We'll see what this does. This will tell us the real, see that. It's gonna blow. All right, let's get the bucket. It's amazing how that builds up pressure when you do that. Okay, let's open the fuel valve. Let's get this. Well, I can use that piece of fuel line there to. Let me lower this camera a little bit. I bet y'all wish I'd leave this camera alone. Well, ain't nothing coming out. I bet that petcock right there is completely stopped up. So what we'll do is just take this thing off. Yeah, this thing's completely stopped up. I could tell somebody's already had a hold to it. Let's take that over there while this drains. See if we can get that cleaned out. I'm gonna lower the table so that fuel ain't got that far to travel. There we go. Now we can work on this fuel petcock. It's a petcock. Yeah, that thing's completely clogged. Those things can be hard to get off. I've had them just shatter with me before. Well, let's get it in the vise here and see if we can. Little bowl off the bottom of it. Let's see, what is that, a 10? It's going to be a 8 milliliter. Nope. Is it going to be a 8 or 9 milliliter? 9? Well, it's bigger than 9. 10's too big, so it must not be metric. Let's try a 3/8. Yeah, there we go. It's not metric. Imagine that. There we go. Yeah, it's got some nastiness in it. O-ring out of there and watch it bounce across the shop. Gotcha. Let's take this off. See the stink. The stank is still draining. The tank is still draining. This out of there without hurting it. There we go. Stop completely up. From there to there. Let's take a little, let's go over here to the door and just take a big puff of air. Oh, it's raining. That's weird. Uh-oh. Let me hit pause. I gotta go roll my windows up. Alright, let's take some air and blow it up here. Roll back out the way you came. There we go. Come right out. She ain't clogged no more. That's where that leak's coming from. Compressor was empty this morning. That cheap little thing right there, I got to replace that little cook with. I didn't realize it was leaking. Now we gotta do something with this. All right, that's nice and clean. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Got to get it real tight either, you'll hurt it. Goes in there like that. Like that. Get your little screws back in it. This one started. Well, the rain's over. Now it's going to get 105 degrees and about 110% humidity out there now. We don't want to hear a weather report, Dobie. Alright, that is off and that is on. Turn it off. Can't blow through it. Turn it on. You can blow through it. Alright. Now we'll raise the table back up and check that fuel tank. Hold the stroke flashlight and see how dirty it still is. Looking good, really. All that stuff is real nice and loose in there. Yeah. Let's see. Let's swish it around some more. I don't want to put that petcock back on there. It'll get dirty. So I just hold my finger over it. Woo! Look at this. That's why there's a bag laying there. Well, we'll do some more swishies. One thing I need to do is pull that screen out. Let's do that real quick. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Get a hold of it. Put a new screen in there. use an easy out. Get one a little bigger. Flow faster now. Oh yeah, that rust is coming out now. I'll set this back right here. Give it some more swishes. Wish I could take that cap off. Set that on the table here. You can see that's getting a lot of that stuff out of there. I stuck a screwdriver in there and just kind of scratched around a little bit, and the tank ain't really rusty, it's just that stuff in there. Stuff is just kind of left behind by the fuel. I'm gonna drain the rest of this and let it sit out side and see the sun's back out now. Just let it bake and dry, and we'll take the air hose and blow it out some more. And it's certainly looking a lot better. Certainly looking a lot better. Yeah, all that stuff broke up real good. Breaking up pretty good in there now. Yeah. Scared it might rain again if I set it out there. Let's set it. Yeah, I can't tell if that's going to rain again or the sun's going to come back out or what. Oh, I don't know. We got a big old nasty looking cloud right there. I ain't setting that tank outside. I'll just set it on that table over there, just let it kind of dry. Let it evaporate. Let it dry. All right, boys and girls, I'm gonna let the tank dry, let the carburetor soak for a little longer. We'll be back. We'll be ready to test it. I ain't gonna put no gas in that fuel tank. I'll use that auxiliary fuel tank. And then after we're done running it, I'm gonna pull that carburetor back off and clean it again and dry it out again. So, y'all hang with. All right. This thing's been soaking for over an hour. Just open it. Get this carburetor put back together. All looking pretty good. All right. Looking pretty good. Like a new penny. Did I get it all over the camera that time? Ooh, well, that's clean. Clean as a whistle. Flushed out of there. Clean rag here. Okay. Stick it in while it's still a little wet. Oh good, okay. Motion tube, main jet, stuff on my screwdriver, needle back on there. Float pin back on there. That drain plug goes opposite the fuel inlet. That way it sticks out front and you can reach it. Okay, back over to the Generator, the Jennifer-rator. Look what else I just discovered. They had both gaskets on the back side of the carburetor. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, now we got to do something with this throttle linkage. This rod is bent, and it shouldn't be. And that spring needs to be wrapped around them again. All right. All right. It's hard to find a good angle for you. Throttle. Return spring. Okay, now this goes on the outside of the carburetor, just like that. Well, I ain't gonna put that on there yet because I want to get that auxiliary fuel tank on there and ruin it. I've already checked the oil, it's full. It don't look bad. A little 10mm wrench here. Tighten them nuts down. All right. Okay. Let me grab this auxiliary tank. What we'll do is probably just strap it right there like that. Okay, let's grab a few zip ties. Hit the hole. All right, just like that. Put some fuel oil in it. Oop, I'd say it's full. No, we just poured it too fast. Let me grab a rag. Yeah, I'm going to have to Let me hit pause for a second. I'm gonna let this thing sit and just kind of evaporate and dry. I'm not about to run this thing with it wet like it is. We'll let some of this evaporate. Be on the safe side. Be on the safe side. Let the fan be blowing on it. Okay. Yeah, we'll let that fan just kind of blow around in here, get all this dried out before I crank it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the fuel on though and let it fill in the bowl, make sure we don't have any leaks in the carburetor. Okay. All right, y'all hang with me, back in just about 5 minutes. Okay, she's nice and dry. Everything's dried out. All right, let's give it a check. Switch is on. Fuel is on. She's not getting enough fuel. I got a feeling it's got something to do with this gas tank right there. I do. Let's do an experiment. Let's do an experiment. I've noticed that before. This fuel tank ain't got a very high flow of fuel. Watch how fast this fuel comes out. Look at that. That's just barely a trickle. What if it's got something to do with that fuel valve? I wonder. Whoa. Let's make another big old mess. That's what I say. Oop. Flipping gas, that's horrible. I'd say that thing's restricted. I would. I believe we got us a bad fuel valve. Yeah, there we go. Uh-oh. Come off the carburetor. Well, I tell you, this is one of them days I'll just make a mess. Everything I touch just turns into a mess. That's all right. Now let's see what kind of flow we got now. Oh yeah, that's much better flow. Much better. Something's up with this fill valve. Bet you. That fuel line needs to be a 3/16. That's awful small. I'll reach back and grab some 3/8 fuel line. 3/8 fuel line. Yeah, let me hit pause. I ain't gonna make y'all watch. I'm gonna redo all this with a smaller 3/8 fuel line. I don't need that thing coming apart with me. Hang with. All right. Let's see. Put you back over here. Turn the switch on. Give it a choke. Give it a pull. Pop this little jack back out of here, see if that'll hit it. Drilling that thing right there out, see if that'll help it. See if that'll help him. Oh, it's got to be in here. We'll come right over here. One. Very gentle. Sometimes that whole jet will spin with you. All right, we are through. Oh, got a customer coming up. Hang on, hang on. All right. Well, let's see if that helped it. Figure out what's going on with this crazy thing. Well, let's stick it back in over here. Stick it back in there. She is definitely starving for fuel, but that carburetor looked really clean. So I can't imagine why that thing... If that thing is surging, that's probably one of the worst surges I've ever seen an engine do. We know we're getting good flow now. Okay. See if that done any different. Button on. Give it a choke. Oh yeah. Yeah, it sure runs good now. Okay. Okay. Let's get that carburetor drained again. Do. Set this over here somewhere. Run out of places to lay stuff down. Making another mess. Okay, let's get that bowl drained. We know she runs good, works good. Everything's good. Now we got to get on that fuel tank over there and do something with it. I think I know what I'm going to do. I believe I know what I'm going to do to it. We'll just let that bowl just kind of air out and dry real good. Let's see. I think I'm going to... She's not that bad no more really, but I think I'm going to throw some... I'll tell you what I'll do. I was going to take a big old handful of these nuts and throw in there. But I think I got a better idea. I think I got a piece of chain in here somewhere. Yeah, I got a big old nasty piece of chain. All them little nuts would be hard to get out of there. There's a smaller piece of chain. Toss that in there. Fish it out with a magnet. That'll work. That'll work. I ain't scared. I've got another fuel valve ordered too. And that's going to cost us a little bit of money. All right. Let's carry this thing right here. I got to get done with this thing. You know, this is all I've done all day long is mess with this generator. People coming and going, stopping by, dropping off, picking up, calling. Golly. Let's go out here so we can make some noise. See how well this does. Ooh, I can feel it coming all over my leg. It's working, look at that. Ooh-wee. Well, let's go see what we did. I'll tell you, that's a good stress reliever. Good exercise too. I see all my neighbors' curtains are open now. It's just me. How y'all doing? I'm glad I don't have any neighbors except for the folks next door. Whew. Okay. Let's set this thing down right here. Take a look at it, see what we have done. Go ahead and put this drain plug back in this here bowl before I forget. Whew, well, I tell you, I just got my blood pumping there. I ain't used to that physical activity. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. mess up and put a brass chain in there so the magnet wouldn't get it. Yeah, look how nasty and rusty that chain is now. All right. By golly, it looks pretty good. I gotta blow all that dust out of it though. Let's do that. Let's go over to the door and give it a good blowing out. You know, we may be better off filling it full of gasoline and swishing it again. But I'm not finished making messes today. Yeah. Oh, like I was saying a while ago, I got another fuel valve ordered. It's cheaper to go ahead and just get a whole new fuel valve because this was missing that big rubber washer that was in there. This is all that was in it, so that's not going to work. So I went ahead and ordered. I thought I had some on the shelf over there. I didn't, so I ordered several of them. Yep. Okay. Make sure that hole on top of it. If it's hit here, is it? Yeah, it's clear. All right. Let's put some more in it. Here. She's running a lot more clear now. We're going to put him a good inline fuel filter on here too. One of those Kohler fuel filters. Well, let's swish it one more time. Oh yeah, she's good and clear. Look at that. Okay, let's grab a flashlight and see what we got. Yeah, she looks good. That's about as good as we're going to get, I believe. Just one little speck right there. Yeah, we'll have to put him a good inline fuel filter on here. Well, all right, let's get this thing put back together. Put it back together. Put it back together. Put the 4 screws back in. Okay. What I do with this hose clamp. Grab a screwdriver. Grab a screwdriver. Air filter base back on there. Don't forget the choke lever. Drop your wrench. Can you see what I'm doing pretty good there? Okay. Put that on there. And we're going to need, let's see, we're going to leave this loose till I can get that new petcock here in the next day or two and cut that thing to length, put him a real good filter. We'll find somewhere to tie it up. Other than that, we are pretty good. Can't see the stud. Right. Now we need to get the crankcase vent hooked back up. Fuel tank vent hooked back up. that in there. Then on the bottom, then we got to tighten that motor mount bolt. It's going to be a little bit too long to get back in there. Easy. Okay, now let's grab us what are we going to need? A 13 millimeter or a 1/2 inch? Let's. I got a ratchet hanger. Let's stick up a bit on there. Yeah. All right. All right. Everything's on. Everything works like it should. And all we got to do now, when I get the new fuel valve, may not have room for a big fuel filter, but I'm going to have to make room, even if I have to come off a different direction with it, find somewhere to zip tie it, somehow or another. But we'll figure all that out when we get the new fuel valve. I know it's a long, drawn-out video. Y'all are tired of hearing me ramble anyway. Well, all right, boys and girls. Thanks for watching another Tom W video. Take your vitamins, eat your vegetables, and holler if you need me, and tell somebody you love them, because I love you and I need you. And by golly, we'll catch y'all on the next one. Love y'all.